Yo, it's your boy Marcus and Morstini back with a video. Today we're going to be talking about hitting legendary for the 72nd time in COD Mobile. This is going to be a multiplayer and BR summary like I normally do for this video series. And then we'll do a separate one for DMZ since that'll technically be my 73rd time hitting legendary. I just completed that a couple nights ago. So let's go ahead and dive into it, man. This has been a pretty solid season, I think, overall of ranked grinding, and I've really enjoyed it. I feel like the game's in a solid state. There's still a lot that needs to be worked on, but overall I'm having a lot of fun just generally playing the game, and I think DMZ has really done a lot for me. But on the multiplayer side, let's talk about that. Obviously you're gonna see me die to this Man-O-War guy a ton in the beginning of this game. I just kept challenging him when I shouldn't have. And one of my big things, I know if you've been around the channel for a while, I've probably talked about this a lot in my videos. I start off so slow in most of my games, and then towards the end I usually do really well, right? So in the first half of this game, frontline, I just kind of do whatever. I think I go like 10 and 6, you know what I mean? It's kind of whatever. But in the second half I go like 11 and 2. I don't know why I always heat up in the second half. Maybe I'm just hitting better shots, I'm more used to aiming, something like that. You know, I'm just in a better spot and making like better decisions and things like that, kind of more aware of how the other team plays at that point in time. So definitely you see that in this gameplay, especially because I just kind of just run at them or do whatever I want in this first half, and then I'm more cautious with my gunfights and better with my shots in the second half. So let's talk about ranked, man. I feel like multiplayer ranked, it hasn't changed enough for me to really dive into it too much. I feel like when you play multiplayer ranked at this point, you kind of know what you're going to get. Like, you're going to have a couple people in every match spamming one of those semi-auto rifles, like your SKS Type 63, M1 Garand, SO14, you know, those types of two-tapping guns. I'm getting into a debate with somebody on one of my videos about it, and people are saying that it takes more skill to use, and I get where they're getting that from. Like, it is, you know, it's semi-auto, so you have to tap to fire it, right? It's not full auto. You can't just press a button and shoot. However, it takes 2 bullets to kill cross map almost every time. Like, it's not even worth mentioning the very rare occasion where you have to 3-tap somebody with the M1 Garand, the weakest of the 3 options, right? Everybody's using the SKS Type 63 or SO14. They 2-shot every time. Now, when you're using those, you generally play slower and pre-aim more, so you're going to be ready for every gunfight you're in, generally. Now, if you're running around with a melee out or something and having to whip out the marksman rifle, that could be a problem, but most people using them don't do that. Nice wallbang shots right here. Look at that, beautiful. However, you know, people are comparing it, like saying it's harder to use than the USS-9. Yes, of course, it's slightly harder. In my personal opinion, I think it's very marginal. You can kind of get away with using both. Kind of like they're not that hard to use. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a gun. You know what I mean? One gun, you're better at long ranges, and the other one's better at close ranges. It's pretty simple, right? I just don't think that people look at these guns the correct way for ease of use, right? Sure, having to tap it, you know, that's more difficult. Having to tap to ADS, sure, that's more difficult, but you only have to hit them twice. And a lot of times, I would say most people probably have a headshot rate of around 20%. So that's 2 out of every 10 kills you're going to get a headshot with, 1 out of every 5. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. I think my headshot rate's like 28, and I never ever aim for the head. So I don't know what the whole like outlook on that is, but I feel like that's not looked at the right way. You know what I mean? Like, if they all 1-tap to the head cross map at any distance, like, the gun's insanely good up close then. You know what I mean? Like, you can just 1-tap them, right? It can just be hip fire. You know what I mean? You never know. So I definitely think people are very, very not narrow-minded, but they just don't look at marksman rifles the right way. They're genuinely overpowered, and they all need a nerf. That being said, that's pretty much all I'm covering for multiplayer. It's been very fun. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully we get some more modes or something to kind of spice it up going into the next rank reset. But until then, you know, I'll play it occasionally for a video or something like that. I've already hit legendary, so I've achieved my goal. No more grinding top 5K or leaderboards. I'm past that point in my life as we speak, because I just simply don't have time to deal with that, or the desire, to be honest with you. So let's talk about BR, man, because we got to talk about that in this side of the video. Really enjoyed BR this season. I felt like the armor plate changes are really good, and it made it a lot more fun for me to just play. I didn't AFK grind as much, so that's great, because you know, you want the mode to be more replayable and more fun to, you know, consistently hop into. So I really love the armor plate changes. I love that we have more creative classes for our loadout, so that we can, you know, try more stuff out and have more room for that. I think 10 is a good number, so I think that they made that change from 5 to 10 in one of these more recent seasons, so that's huge. Overall, I really enjoy it. I'm excited to kind of see what they do to keep, you know, revamping it and keep making it more fun in the battle royale side of things. Shout out to this person for commenting. I really appreciate the comments. I read all my comments that I can. If I ever miss a comment, you know, it's because it didn't populate for me and I couldn't see it. That's the only reason. If I see a comment, I will respond to it. So I always really appreciate you guys commenting on the videos. That's one of the big reasons I do this. I love having that interaction and talking about COD Mobile or Call of Duty in general, because I obviously play all of the console CODs, so I love talking about console CODs. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this season, man. It's been a solid season. Gotten a lot of content. You know, we got that KN44 like legacy variant, I believe. We're getting a mythic AGR. Whenever I get that unlocked, I'm over halfway there, I think. Like 256 out of 500 or something like that. So a ton of stuff going on, a lot of fun things happening, and overall I feel like the game's in a solid spot. You know, it's not in the best place it could be. Maybe one day we'll get that ban system I've been begging for 7 years, but it's in a good spot. It's very enjoyable. I'm having a ton of fun. Class setup here, I was just showing fully loaded right there, because I would take off the laser and put on fully loaded if I was going for nukes with this class setup. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I really love that Archangel barrel and how it changes the sight, your iron sight. That's phenomenal for me. That being said, I feel like I've covered just about everything I had. Here's some stats for you guys if you do want to see that. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this season of ranked for BR and multiplayer, what you think, how many times you've hit legendary in both modes. 36 and 36 would be the absolute most you could have, so let me know how many times you've done it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It's been your boy Marcus Amorsini. I'm out of here. Peace.